again, everyone. I am BB Dizzle in the house, his house. I don't know.
And I'm CVM, and we're here with another versus video.
Wait. You're not gonna
CV Mizzle.
You're not gonna give him your real name?
Yeah, CVM, that's my real name. It's actually on my birth certificate.
I thought it was.
That's trivia.
I thought it was Chris Van, 39.37 inches.
Nope.
Nope. All right.
It's actually a meter.
All right.
We didn't do a deck tech for the deck that I'm playing because we've done plenty of green red aggro deck techs. It's Brian Kibler's deck, very well known by now. Big powerhouse in the format. Please feel free to check out one of our previous videos if you'd like to see a deck tech on it. Deck's basically the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Still a powerhouse. Still good. One thing we should have done a deck tech on, but we didn't, is rock lobster, scissors lizard, paper tiger.
I mean, nothing beats the lizard's sheer power.
The tiger is always quick to fold.
So we bringing it back for you guys. We're going to play a little tiger, lizard, lobster.
Yep.
Play some rock, paper, scissors to determine who's going to go first. I also apologize if I sound terrible. I'm pretty sick fighting a cold, so hopefully my mouth breathing isn't too miserable for DVD.
Basically, I finally get to play a versus video against a complete mouth breather, so CVM.
So I'm pretty sure that the fogginess of my head is going to make me punt this most important decision, but I'm still going to run it.
All right, he's going to run that decision there, and I don't trust myself to outlevel CVM, even when he's sick. So I'm going to do the old cowards route, and I'm just going to go for
he's just gonna
I'm going to stone randomize a rock lobster.
Well, nothing beats rock.
All right.
Rock.
Nothing does beat rock. That's why I
randomly
selected the rock.
If he's going to random, this is a little tough.
It is a little tough, isn't it?
All right, I think this one is going to be good this time.
He thinks it's going to be good this time. All right, I'm not going to random anymore.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to jam rock lobster.
Oh,
Did I get
you? You just leveled me.
Yes! All right, got him. Successfully leveled.
I thought it was a gentleman's game.
It is not.
Just changed the rules.
There's no honor in tiger, scissors, lizard.
Cutthroat. Cutthroat. Fine, you get to go first.
All right, I will snap beyond the play. And I will snap keep this opening hand. This is actually just as good as almost as good as it gets. Like, Helen Hunt once held this opening hand, so.
I'm going to keep mine too. It's actually very, very, very good, so.
Damn. All right. Godless Shrine, go. Wish it was a Guildgate, but you can't have them all, so.
Can't have them all.
And he has an Arbor Elf. Sure.
Good.
Draw. All right. That was not great, but it is what it is. We're going to try to slow him down a bit, so I'm just going to Victim of Night his Arbor Elf and send it back to him.
So that was actually a pretty good draw. So, battle.
All right, I'm at 18.
Go ahead.
All right. And we got there. We definitely got there. So I'm going to go ahead and Lifebane Zombie him here and see what he's got to work with. We'll take that Flinthoof Boar. Wow, so his hand is absurdly good here. So you have a Domri, a Hellrider, a Thundermaw, and the Stomping Ground he needs to cast all of that stuff. So, okay. I'm done.
All right, so that Lifebane Zombie is not very good for us. Although, I think that I can just Domri and then fight the Lifebane Zombie. You have 4 cards?
Yep.
So if I just Domri and +1, yeah, I think I just have to Domri fight. Alright, so I'm going to take 2.
Alright.
And then we're going to fight.
They will fight each other.
And I'll attack for 3.
Alright, I'm at 15.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Draw. Alright, that was not what we wanted, unfortunately, so we just have to sign and blood ourselves here. No.
Okay.
Down to 13, I'll draw 2. 1, 2. Play a land, and pass the turn.
Alright, so this is our spot here.
Hopefully he doesn't take us in a special journey here.
So we need to +1 the Domri.
Okay.
And we're actually just going to leave it on top. Not by choice, but because I have to. And then I'll just attack you for 3.
I'm going to go ahead and Doomblade his Strangleroot Geist here. It might be worth saving the Doomblade, but I just want to preserve my life total as much as possible. And
then I'll pass. If
he had had the mana to cast Hell Rider, I'm certain that he would have. So it's fairly safe to assume he probably doesn't. And I'm just going to try to give him the D, as they say. Play a Desecration Demon and pass it off to him.
All right. Okay, so we're going to up the Domri again.
Okay. It's a Strangleroot Geist. That's unfortunate, because that's one of the best cards in this deck against Demon. So.
And then we're going to play Geist, and I'm going to attack you.
Alright, so it's interesting that he is attacking us with the Strangleroot Geist here. Basically, it basically means that he has probably a land and a Mizzium Mortars. I can't think of any other reason why he would just jam his Geist into our Demon here. It could be just a stone cold bluff, but that seems pretty unlikely with considering the fact that like Desecration Demon can kill his Domri, and I don't think he would risk losing his like Domri by virtue of having to sack like the other half of the Geist. So I think it's pretty safe to assume he probably has Mortars land. And even though I'm at a pretty low life total, but my hand's very good, so I think I have to just take it and go to 11.
Go.
All right, so he did have the land, and we can fairly safely assume he probably has a Mortars as well. So we'll go ahead and draw. Not a bad one. I will go to combat.
I'll sacrifice to your Demon.
All right, so Demon is tapped, and we do not get to attack Domri, which is unfortunate. Alright, so we're basically just going to hope that he does not draw a red source here, because we are in a whole world of trouble if he does, and we're just going to play another Desecration Demon. And pass the turn off to him. Alright, don't red source us, bro.
Alright, so you're at 11. Okay, so I have a couple different options here. So you have one card or two?
Two.
Two cards, okay. So he could have another targeted removal spell. Definitely wish I would have drawn a red source to just jam this dragon right down his throat.
Like literally like the jugular.
And I'm playing the Casting Wolf run that Mr. Kibler likes to play, which normally would be a red source for me.
It could be the could be some Gruul Guildgate. We could have.
I mean, I've just been playing a mountain. So
okay. Actual mountain.
Yeah, it's just been just fine. All right, so. So I think here I still have to attack.
All right, so it's still pretty safe to assume he has, like, either a Gore-Clan Rampager or a Mizzium Mortars. Last turn he definitely like showed us his probably Mizzium Mortars. He could also have a Gore-Clan, though. He could have drawn a Gore-Clan this turn. And I think we basically need to block here and just force the 2-for-1 at this point and hopefully make him like waste his turn killing our guy. So I'm going to go ahead and block. And let's see what we got going on here.
So you've got two cards in hand there.
Mm-hmm. Even if he Gore-Clans, we still get to kill his Strangleroot Geist, which is important.
Alright, so
Geist down.
Geist down. +1 Domri.
Don't hit a 1-drop. Alright, doesn't hit a 1-drop.
And then I'm going to Mortars the Demon.
Yep. Alright, so he had the Mortars that we basically expected.
It's your turn.
And now we get to kill his Domri raid. Although, draw. I think it might also be reasonable just to attack him here. But I think, well, whoa. Throwing cards around. Yeah, it's definitely reasonable to consider attacking him here as well. Because he is at 18, and Demon is a 7/7. It's like a huge clock. But at the same time, I think it might just be a little too risky to try that. So I'm gonna swing at Domri and kill her off. He might have another Domri in hand. We still know he has a Thundermaw Hellkite and a Hell Rider, and he has 2 other cards, which are not lands. And let's see. I think we are just going to go ahead and send him a message as well. Put you down to 16. And it's your go. Alright. Not a red source, but it is a Gore Clan Rampager. Okay, so he had a Rampager as well to go with this guy. Draw. Alright, that is a very good draw. We're just going to go ahead and play Liliana and make you sacrifice a creature. Now we can attack for 10. Put you to 6. And we will just pass the turn.
And so, like, I have this Rampager that I can cast and then tap this guy, but I am just dead, so I'll concede.
Okay. All right, so we are back for game number 2.
Yep.
CVM gets
to be on the play.
Does get to be on the play.
Which is a huge advantage for this deck. Like, being on the play just makes a world of difference as opposed to being on the draw. And this hand isn't, like, extremely awesome, but it does have some very good cards, so I'm going to keep.
Yeah, my hand is pretty mediocre as well, but I'm also going to keep, like, it's fine. We're just going to play Godless and say go. Alright, we take 3, go to 17.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, I'd like to draw a land here, especially a red mana. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. 18. Cast Hell Rider.
The old
2 triggers.
Yep. Yeah, so this is pretty much a very difficult to beat draw. Like we're gonna give it a shot, but if they start like this on the play, it's like just super hard to catch up. I'm gonna Life Bane, hopefully get a Gore Clan Rampager. All right, he has a Thundermaw and a Mortars. All right, so his hand is just the stone cold. So go ahead.
Drawing the land is what made it.
Yeah.
Just absurd.
So hopefully he doesn't just kill us this turn.
All right, so man, drawing a land would have been nice. So I'm just going to Mortars this guy.
Yep.
And put you at 1. 3, 4, 5,
Yep,
6, 7,
I'm at
8,
1.
9. Go ahead.
So normally I would be okay here, but Strangroot Geist has Undying, so this Mutilate does nothing. If he didn't have the Mortars, I was just going to block his Geist when he sends in, and then Mutilate him this turn, and hopefully he doesn't draw the lands to cast his Thundermaw Hellkite before I can, like, you know, strip it from his hand with Liliana, or, you know, basically set up a position where I can win, or draw like an instant speed removal spell. All right, we're here for sideboarding. For me, the sideboarding is pretty easy. I have 5 cards in my sideboard that I want to bring in. Like Obsidat's okay against them, but I don't really want it. Duress doesn't hit too many guys, and then the rest of these cards are like very slow and for different matchups. Like I don't want Curse against a deck that's playing 5/5 dragons.
Yeah.
So
it makes them a 4/4 though.
It does make him a 4/4. Hellrider's a fresh little 2/2, but they still do their thing anyway. The cards I do want are these 5 though. I want 2 Pithing Needles, Basically, the hardest cards for me to answer is Planeswalkers. So I want to be able to needle his Domri raids, and Chandra's become like a pretty normal sideboard card for the deck now as well. So if I draw a second needle, I can just needle a Chandra. Or if I like a Life Bane and see that he has a Chandra, I can play a needle on it. Another spot removal spell. These cards are spot removal is just very good against a deck full of like big, huge, giant monsters. Yeah, like you just want to kill them.
5/5 dragons.
Yeah, 5/5 dragons. You just Thundermaw, Hellkite, die. And then 2 Nighthawks. Nighthawks is there to like trade with anything through, even through a Gorkland Rampager, or just serve as like a roadblock or whatever. And then what we're cutting are 2 Blood Barons. Blood Baron just dies to Mizium Mortars. It doesn't attack through, like, you can't block a guy if they Gorklan, and it doesn't attack through, like, Thundermaws or anything like that anyway, so it's actually just not particularly great in the matchup. Domri can fight it with, like, a Thundermaw Hellkite, and your 5-drop just did nothing. And then 3 Geralf's Messengers, just because the card's a little too slow. Like, coming into play tapped is, like, a pretty big disadvantage. If it didn't come into play tapped, I would 100% keep them in because it does trade with multiple guys, but since it comes into play tapped, I don't want them anymore.
Yeah, just like the deck is full of haste creatures, so having something that comes into play tapped is just miserable against it.
Yeah, I want every single card I play in the early turns of the game to immediately impact the game.
Definitely. Now, as far as sideboarding for myself, I want to bring in the Chandras because it allows us to attack through cards like Desecration Demon and Vampire Nighthawk, because these decks usually have Nighthawk. Then I'm also bringing in the Pillars. It could be wrong since he's, going to be cutting his Drop Messengers against me anyways. But I still feel like I would rather have Pillars over a Mortars. And then Rampager is just really bad against decks with Lifebane Zombie in them. Like, he just continues to get value out of it. Plus, he just has a bunch of Doomblades, so I very rarely can, like, Rampager.
You're just asking it 2 for 1.
Yeah, just asking it 2 for 1. But I still want to keep one in just to keep him honest, because like I could have it at any point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. That seems right. So
let's.
All right, we are here for game number 3, the first of our sideboarded games.
Numero Trace.
I get to be on the play. Wow, this hand's. Oh man, this is kind of a gross one. I'm going to keep it. That could very well be wrong, but yeah, I'm going to keep it.
I don't think I can keep this hand. Maybe on the play. Definitely not on the draw. Yeah, I'm going to ship it. I want to keep it really bad, but we're going to send it back. Alright, so I mulligan, and we're back here looking at our 6-card hand, and this one isn't much better than the 7, but sure, I'll keep it.
Alright, the old Swamp Go. Wish it was a Guildgate, can't always have what you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah, CVM has a much better opening with Rootbound Crag, so.
Too bad it's not a Guildgate.
Yeah, we'll ship it back.
Well, that was a good one.
Geest. All right, 18.
Go ahead.
Wow, that was also a very good one. That was perfect.
Zombie?
Yep, I will zombie you. Let's see what you got.
Whiff.
All right, we whiff. He just has mono planeswalkers. All right. Mountain Rootbound. That's going to be annoying. Very annoying. Mountain, Crag, 2 Domri, and a Chandra. All right, here we go.
All right. So I can. All right, so I can either play Domri and then just fight here, or I could wait to fight and just attack and then play Domri and +1 it and then kill his Lifebane Zombie the following turn with Chandra. I think that's probably fine too. I guess that only really gets punished if he just like Pithy Needles my Chandra. But I don't think he brought in Duress. I think that I just have to fight the Life Bait Zombie, as awkward as that is. Because also if I let him untap, then he can Resto Angel his guy. Alright, so we're going to fight.
Okay.
Attack for 3.
15.
Go ahead.
This game seems very oddly familiar.
Yeah.
Almost like this exact thing happened the first game.
Almost.
Draw.
I also lost that game very handedly.
To this guy. Go. Give him the D.
Alright, so we're going to +1 Domre.
Okay.
God, that guy is so good.
He is big and angry.
Alright, but this time I get to Chandra.
Sure.
1 him, can't block.
14.
3.
At 11.
And then I will pass the turn.
Alright. Draw a card. It's an interesting one. I will go to combat.
Yeah, 5 cards.
Yep. So he can either sack his Geist and prevent us from killing one of his planeswalkers, or he just lets us kill one of his planeswalkers.
Now, I know what this card is. And I think that my best shot here at this point is going to be to try and keep my planeswalkers around. So I'm going to sack the Strangler Geist.
Okay.
It's probably 100% wrong, and I'm sure I'll hear about it later.
I will attempt to continue giving the D. So.
Yeah, why not?
Go.
Why not? Alright.
Good question. No
so
answer
we'll
for
draw
you.
a card. +1 Domri.
Okay. And he hits a Hellrider. Alright, that's a pretty good one for him.
One, and the guy can't block.
Go to 10.
Trigger.
Go to 6 after everything's said and done.
Yep. And then I will pass the turn.
Okay. Draw a card. Alright, so I think we have to kill his planeswalkers here. Although it is possible we could just try to kill him. But if he has a Thundermaw... So we know one of the cards in his hand is a Domri. It's a pretty interesting board state here. I think it might be too risky to try to kill him because we definitely want to cast Mutilate pre-combat. We're going to do that right now. So Mutilate for 3. That way he can't sack his Hellrider to tap one of our demons. Now that does shrink our demons though. So unfortunately we can either kill Chandra or Domri. Not both, since our demons are smaller. And I think we probably have to kill Chandra because she's a lot scarier than Domri, and we know he has a second Domri in hand anyway. So I'm just going to attack 7 at Chandra and pass the turn. That could be a mistake, but I guess we'll find out. I could have also sent 7 at him,
Dragon.
but
Oh, +1 Domri.
No dragon. Dragon.
Dragon. Yeah.
It's always there.
Always.
All right, I go to 1.
Go ahead.
All right, need to draw something relevant.
I hope I didn't miss a point of damage this game. I don't think I did.
It's kind of gross. Go to combat.
All right.
I will attack Domri. And say go. Second Domri. Yep.
+1 to Domri.
Yep. There are a lot of cards that kill us here, unfortunately. Okay.
Combat.
Sure.
Trigger.
Okay.
I'll attack you.
I'll tragic slip your thunder. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Draw.
And for those of you watching, the reason I went with that line as opposed to this line is because he has more Doom Blades in his deck than Tragic Slips. So like I have Wolf Run. I could just play Wolf Run. And
Okay.
But you have more Doom Blades in your deck than Tragic Slips. So
It's very true, especially post board. So at this point in time, like we're under so much of a clock, and because we have this other Desecration Demon, we basically, I think we just have to. Well, actually no. I think we still can kill Domri here. We have to try to keep him off of drawing a creature as much as we possibly can. So we'll send 6 at Domri and 8 at you. So you're down to 12. And we basically just have to hope that he bricks for a turn.
well, I mean, I +1 and left it, so
Okay.
I am dead.
Okay. All right, he's dead. I mean, it could have been a Pillar of Flame or something. So yeah. After a very, very close game 3, we are here for game 4. So
Definitely.
CVM, you get to elect to draw.
I will go first
Elects to play.
with my Mana Elf deck. And this isn't the blazing start that I would like. In fact,
More of a blazing saddle than a blazing start.
a little worse than that, actually. Yeah, I'm actually going to Mulligan this hand. It's very close, and I think that a lot of people would keep this, but I'm actually going to Mulligan it.
All right.
So it's just like
Let me see.
5 lands, Boar, Domri with a green source. So like it's definitely playable, especially on the play.
But
you're like at the mercy of the top of your deck.
you only have 1 green source too, right?
Correct.
Yeah. That hand's a little loose. Like,
I mean,
You have, like-
only need like
yeah, like you have one of your best cards in Domri, but
you're just
like
at the
board
mercy
just
of the
dies
top
to
of your
everything.
deck.
Board dies to everything, and then yeah, you're just at the mercy of your top of your deck. If you just have a couple more lands, or like another Domri and some more lands, or whatever, like you're just.
Yeah.
I think like another thing too about this matchup is I feel like I've played this matchup a good number of times from this side, and I feel like every time I lose, it's to like a very aggressive start. Like I'm very rarely losing to like the game draws out and you just like out card advantage me with planeswalkers. Like that's rarely how I'm losing. It's usually just like
Yeah, well, I mean, just that's not going to happen because Demon's bigger than everything in my deck. So like,
right.
if we get to the point where you're just slamming Demons, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, exactly. Like or if I get to like God forbid I disciple a demon or something.
Yeah.
Like get old Nasty B out there to draw me the old Black Sphinx's Revelation. So
Alright, so we're going to draw our 6, and it's not pretty, but I'll keep it.
all right. All right, Stomping Ground, go. Okay, so he didn't play a 1, so we don't have to. We're fine to just play this tapped because we can do this. We can do either of these next turn if we need to. So There's no reason to like play a swamp here. Old Strangrootgeist. All right, that guy is very annoying.
Go ahead.
Probably, I would actually say that is the most annoying creature in his deck. Draw. Okay, that's a perfectly reasonable draw. We are going to go ahead and just cast a preemptive Pithing Needle on Domri and say go. So hopefully his hand is just mono Domri, just a land and 4 Domris. No? Probably getting
combat
bored here. Okay, bring it in. I will do nothing.
No thanks.
I will go to 16 life. And an ooze, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, we are just going to pass the turn back again.
Combat.
Another Geist. Sure. Alright, well, I hate having to do this, but we're pretty much forced to based on the pressure he's putting on us. I'm going to Tragic Slip one of his Strangrootgeists, which I will now take 4, go to 12. So he's putting us under like an immense amount of pressure.
I'll pass.
Thanks to good old Strangrootgeist.
So I'm anticipating the Mutilate here, which is going to leave me with a Geist, and then drawing a land would be awesome.
That is exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to Mutilate here. Unfortunately, our Mutilate draws have been negated by him having like numerous Strangrootgeists both times we've had it. But
land? Yes.
All right, now we're just
2 triggers.
Yep. We're at 4.
Go ahead.
We're really going to need to draw something good here. I don't think that does it. Yeah, we're just dead. All right, we are back for the final game, and it is actually all tied up. Pretty close match so far.
Definitely wish I was on the play for this game instead of on the draw.
All right, yeah, we're going to keep this hand. It's, like, I'm not super happy with it, but at the same time, like, it has enough good cards where I think it's worth keeping.
My hand feels the same way. It's just a couple cards away from being awesome.
All right. I don't usually like to just jam this like right away, but here we're planning on casting a card every turn, so I'm just going to name Domri with it and say go. Like he also has Chandra we can name, but he has more Domris than Chandras in his deck. So
go ahead.
The old Arbor Elf. Draw. So we're just going to Sign and Blood ourselves. Go to 18. Draw 2 cards. Your turn. Alright, he has our good friend Strangrootgeist again, which is exactly what we don't want to see, but we're going to go ahead and life bane him again, and hopefully this time we don't brick off. Alright, we get a Scavenging Ooze. Oh, wait, he has a Gore Clan as well. Okay. So we will actually take... So he has Hellrider, Thundermaw... Wow, that sounds really good. Jeez. We're going to actually take Gore Clan Rampager. I'm not as worried about the Ooze, and next turn, if we take the Ooze and not the Gore Clan, he can like attack us and put us in an awkward position with Gore Clan Rampager. So we're just going to do that and say go.
Now, Chandra would be a very sweet card to draw here. That's the opposite of Chandra.
Alright. Probably still a sweet card, though.
The exact opposite of Chandra. Alright, so... I have a couple options here. I can just jam this Hellrider and get in for some damage. Like, we'll trade the Hellrider for his Lifebane Zombie. But he's still going to take 4 damage. And then he just gets to Mutilate, and I get to keep a Strangrootgeist around. I don't think I'm going to get a better chance to play this, so 2 triggers.
Alright, so we go to 14, and I will block the Hellrider. So we go to 12.
And then I'll pass.
Draw.
God, Chandra would have been so beautiful there.
It's kind of an awkward one for us. Play a swamp. We're just going to pass the turn.
Interesting. Smaller Restoration Angel. Alright, so I'll draw. Alright, so he probably has a Restoration Angel. You have 4 cards?
Yep.
5 cards?
5.
Alright, so I think that right now I just want to play this.
Sure.
Combat.
Sure.
I'll attack with Thundermaw Hellkite. Just the Thundermaw Hellkite.
I'll go to 7.
And then I'll pass.
My Restoration Angel. Draw. So if he has another Thundermaw, we're basically just dead. Card is so good. But for now, we're going to go ahead and Oblivion Ring his Thundermaw. And just hope he doesn't have another one. Say go.
Chandra would still be a good draw here as well.
Chandra would be very good for him.
And that is not a Chandra. So this card is still pretty decent for now.
Flint Hoof Boar.
So I'm just going to play the Scavenging Ooze.
Okay, Scavenging Ooze.
And then I'll pass the turn. There's no point attacking my Geist into his Angel. I guess the Mortars have been a good draw there too. Man, I had a lot of live draws. Dragon Mortars, Hellrider. I think Hellrider probably would have killed you. No, you're on the 1. Get that nasty bee, gain some life, draw some cards.
I really wish I had one, but I don't.
The Disciple of Bolus.
I would definitely play it if I did. Sadly, I think the play here is to just cast a Lifebane Zombie again. See what we're looking at. Scavenging Ooze. Alright, and a Domri. Okay.
This was the opposite of Chandra.
Alright, so now we just have to pass the turn and...
eat your zombie.
Yep.
My Hellrider.
Yep. So now, Ooze is a very... I still think we were right for taking the Rampager, but Ooze is definitely a card we did not want to see. Now we just don't want him to draw a Thundermaw Hellkite or any number of other cards that are super good against us right here.
Alright, so I'm going to attack with my Ooze.
So just like chump blocking it doesn't really accomplish anything. Yeah, chump blocking it doesn't accomplish anything because he can just keep eating the guy that we're chump blocking with and keep growing his ooze. So we're just going to double block here and hope that that works. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I guess if we double block here, he can only kill one of our guys since it's a 4, unless he has something to finish off the other guy. So we'll double block.
Alright, we'll kill the Restoration Angel.
Sure.
I'll pass.
All right, something awesome.
I think since
Draw.
I drew this land, I probably also should have attacked with the Arbor Elf there. Hopefully I don't lose the game with you at 1 life.
All right, that was not awesome. Go. Just because it's the name of the deck, Orzhov Guildgate.
That's pretty cute. I'll pillar this guy.
Yep.
Battle for...
I'll go to 4.
Go ahead.
All right, we really need to draw something. That's a good one. Go ahead and mutilate. Kill everything.
Trigger.
Yep. And we'll pass it off to you. Victim of Nights.
Is this a vampire? Nope.
It's not a vampire. Not a werewolf.
I'll pass.
Alright, so now we're in top deck mode. I feel like we're better set up to win a top deck battle than he is, but he does have a lot of...
Really? When you're at 4 and I have a billion haste creatures in my deck?
Well, that's true. We also have a very... Like, we have a high density of, like, very good cards. Like, any removal spell's fine against a haste creature. Like, any threat is very powerful.
True.
So, go.
I'll take a dragon.
No dragon. No dragon.
It's not a dragon.
Yes, does not have a dragon.
I'll pass the turn.
All right, I'm gonna go for the same strategy that he just employed. I'll take a Disciple of Bolus.
No disciple.
Not a disciple. So, all right. This is an interesting decision of whether to begin attacking or not. He's on a 4-turn clock, so we're dead to a Hellrider. Or we're dead to a Thundermaw Hellkite regardless. Yeah, we're dead to a Thundermaw Hellkite regardless, and we're dead to a Hellrider if we attack, but not if we hold back. And I don't know. This is very close because there's a lot of draws in our deck, like like a Restoration Angel or a Disciple, that would make attacking here like a bad idea because it gives him more outs to just kill us. But we also probably shouldn't just give him outs as well. So we'll go ahead and attack.
18.
Have you
14.
14? Yeah. Or no, 16.
16.
There we go.
Okay, count.
One of those numbers in there somewhere. So, go ahead. Don't kill us.
All right, I'll still take a dragon.
Doesn't seem like it was a dragon. Flinthoof Boar, sure.
Haste.
Sure. No blocks. 1.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, that's unfortunate. Draw. Isolated Chapel.
Okay.
Any effects?
I can't respond to you playing lands.
Correct. Go to combat. Any effects?
Nope.
All right, I'll attack for 6.
10.
I will pass the turn.
Alright, it sounds like a Resto Angel.
Please don't kill me.
I'll take a dragon. Or a Chandra. I'll take a Chandra.
No, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Alright, so, combat.
Desecration Demon trigger. Would you like to sacrifice a creature
No.
to tap down my demon? Okay, then I have no
I'll
effects.
attack you.
All right, I will cast a Restoration Angel
Sure.
on the D.
Okay.
Blink him, and I will. So he could have a Mortars here. He could also have. Yeah, I'll double block.
Alright, I'll do the damage here.
All right, did you draw Mortars?
Yeah, I'll overload.
Wow, that's a huge blowout. Probably should have just blocked with the Angel, but
Go ahead.
like if he has a Gore Clan Rampager, like I personally know that he sided out 3, but in that situation, I would expect him to.
Because you saw the one earlier.
Yeah, like, I personally know that he doesn't have any more in his deck because we saw each other's sideboard, but I want to play like I don't know that, and
Definitely.
normally I would double block there to
And like,
not get blown out.
if you don't see the one, then you could reasonably think that I took them out because it's strategically correct to do so, but because you saw the one, you just don't know anymore.
Oh, man. Liliana of the Veil.
Sure.
Go.
Man, I would really like to win this game with a Chandra. I'm not going to lie.
I would really like you to draw another Dominant Raid.
I drew a dragon.
Sure.
Combat.
Yep.
I'll attack you.
Tragic Slip it.
All right, you go to -3.
Yep, I'm dead. All right, so we're here for the conclusion. It was a pretty close match overall. Like,
Definitely was.
There were 2 games where you were on the play and you just had like the nut draw and just killed me, and like there pretty much wasn't anything I could possibly do. And that's like one of the draws to playing the green-red deck is sometimes you just have those draws and your opponent just dies.
Yeah.
Like,
And it doesn't even take a lot to have the draws. Like the second game, I had mulligan, and then just like all it took was drawing 2 Geist to kill you. Like I had.
Yeah, you just had like Geist into Hellrider.
Drew 2 Geist, and it was just game.
Yeah, you just had like Geist, Hellrider, and like against a deck that's full of removal like mine, like that's just like, I mean, I have Oblivion Rings and things like that, but like if I don't draw them, I'm just in a world of hurt to that. So
Definitely.
And then the rest of the games where you didn't have like the absurd starts, or like some of them where you still did, but I had like the removal to keep you off of. Like I think in game 1 your hand was really, really good. Like you had 1-drop into you had like a 1-drop, a turn 2 Domri possibility. Then you had like Hellrider and Thundermaw.
Yeah.
But I just like had the right pieces along the way.
You had like the right removal, and then I just never drew a second red source.
Yeah, I had the right removal in the way, and then you didn't draw the second red source. But I feel like even if you had, like, I had been able to set up a board where I might have been able to still win it anyway.
Yeah.
But like overall, yeah, like the matchup feels like I feel like any game that goes a little bit longer, I'm a huge favorite to win. I guess game 5 was an example when that doesn't happen, where I just like don't draw like anything that I need to like stabilize. Like I needed to hit like a Disciple of Bolas or like even like a sign. Well, when I was at 4 life, even a Sign in Blood would have been fine to just put me in a position to draw into more gas. But
definitely,
yeah.
That and like, I mean, I've been playing a lot with the deck, so I feel like I can gain some edges here and there just by like knowing like how to play it correctly. Like in the game where I like sacrificed my Strangleroot Geist to protect my Planeswalkers in that game, when I knew that the top card of my deck was the land and I had all lands in my hand. Like I don't think a lot of people would make that play. And like if you didn't have a removal spell, you actually just end up losing that game. So like those types of things are pretty huge. Like especially with an aggressive deck like this, a lot of people think it's pretty mindless, but you do have to put a lot of thought into your plays.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like, but yeah, I think like this was definitely. I hope this was an interesting matchup for everyone who watched.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the black-white deck crushes most aggressive decks, but this one's a little different because you have Strangleroot Geist, like, and Thundermaw Hellkite. Like you have 2 cards that just kind of go over the top.
Yeah.
So like Thundermaw tapping down all flyers is just such a beating. Like the card would have been playable even without that ability, but that ability just puts it over the top.
Yeah,
so.
it definitely just allows it to push through the damage. Do you think that maybe is an incentive to play, like, do you feel like Tragic Slip is still where we want to be with that deck? Maybe it should just be more Doomblade type effects?
I think you definitely need Tragic Slip because a lot of times, like, you run into situations where you're holding a Victim of Night and your opponent's killing you with Olivia, or like, just Tragic Slip is just able to kill anything,
Yeah.
which is pretty important, and it also allows you to kill like 1-drops on turn 1, a lot of times too, which is pretty important. Like I think having access to Tragic Slip, I definitely would still play Tragic Slip, and I don't think I want too many of them. Like I think 2 is fine, but they also complement very well with your other removal. Like you can go like, you can hold open 3 mana and like Doomblade a guy and then Tragic Slip another guy.
Yeah.
And things like that. Or like a lot of times people will sacrifice to your Desecration Demon and then you can Tragic Slip their guy.
Now after playing this, like I played green-red against the green-black deck quite a bit, and I knew that Geist was good against them, so I was banking on Geist being good against in this matchup as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that, you know, Sever being in the 75 somewhere to help hedge against Geist is something that we should look into for that?
I don't. I think Sever's just a little too slow. Like, even if I was severing your Geist in some of those games, I was still, like, you still already had a Hellrider in play. And I already have Oblivion Ring. Oblivion Ring does the exact same thing as Sever, and it's just a mana cheaper but I basically just, you know, if like I think if I had had Oblivion Ring in some of those games, I would have been fine because I would have been able to get your Strangleroot Geist, then my Mutilate would have wrathed your board, including like your Mana Guy, which would have put you off like Dragon for another turn.
Yeah,
so I think like I don't think Sever's like I had Sever in the board at one point, but it was just very mediocre, and I think Oblivion Ring handles a lot of the same problems that Sever does.
Fair enough.
So.
Like for Baltimore this weekend, do you think the black white deck is a good choice for somebody that's going to be going?
I think so. Like I don't know if it's a great choice. I've like the last 3 dailies I played on Magic Online with it, I went 3-1 in all 3 of them. So like I joked on Twitter that I'm pretty much setting myself up for a 7-3 or maybe an 8-2 in Baltimore. It depends on how those last 2 rounds go. Like I know going into round 9 I'll be 6-2, but yeah, I feel like the deck, that's kind of about where the deck is. Like I'm gonna keep working on it. I'm gonna keep trying to improve it, and I think maybe with some improvement I might be able to get it to a pretty good contender. At this point in time, I feel like it's a good deck, but not necessarily like the best deck. I think if you want to just play the best deck, you should probably just be playing Jund still. Like to be 100% honest, I still think Jund's the best deck. So
now, on the same note, Lifebane Zombies or no for Jund?
I think no. I'm a pretty firm believer in no. Like I actually think Lifebane Zombie is borderline in this deck. Like I would consider not even main decking them in this deck. So I think especially in Jund, you just want every one of your cards to be good.
That makes sense.
Yep.
You don't want to have any bad draws. That's the power of the deck. Is once you hit turn 5, turn 6. Every non-land card, non-Farseek card in your deck is just extremely powerful.
Exactly. You think the green-red deck's still a good choice? Would you still play that deck?
Yeah, I think the deck is still very awesome. I think it's correct to be playing Volcanic Strength out of the board.
Okay.
To combat the mirror. In fact, like I want to play 1 in the main. Like the card is just nearly unbeatable in the mirror match. You put it on the board, they have nothing that can kill it, and it just lets you push through damage. After playing the mirror quite a bit, it is extremely miserable. For anybody that's familiar with the old Valakut mirror, literal die roll would just always, determine who is going to end up winning the match.
Right.
Being on the play is such a huge advantage for the deck, and especially games where you're on the play with the mana guy, it's almost like you can't lose when you're playing the mirror with the deck. So it's the mirror. I wouldn't say that it's not very skill intensive, but the die roll is such a huge part of it. If you're good at rolling dice, it's a good deck.
So, do you think there's anything that the deck can gain to like advantage yourself? I guess Volcanic Strength's 1 card, but is there anything else do you think that like you could gain that would help you when you're on the draw? Like I'm guessing Strangleroot Geist is probably pretty good on the draw.
Strangleroot Geist is very good on the draw.
Like, is there anything else like that you can think of? Like maybe like I don't know. Thundermaw Hellkite's probably just the best card in the mirror match, right?
Yeah.
So what about like maybe something like a Plummet would be good? I don't know if that's too narrow or.
Definitely Plummet could be very good, but even still, you're going to find you're going to be losing to Hell Riders and Rampagers when you're on the draw.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that makes sense. Like you're trying to block against a deck that punishes blocking.
Yeah. And the PTQs the other weekend, it was just like Volcanic Streaks and Fogs was what I was using. It was just to try and race with Fog.
Okay.
When you're on the draw. I don't think you even need it when you're on the play because you're such advantaged, but Fog kind of evens that playing field. You get an extra attack step, whereas they would normally have one.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Like Fog definitely seems pretty good. That might just be better than Plummet. Just does a lot of the same thing. So.
Definitely.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully you got something out of it.